Well, hello. Well, hello. Sorry for the coarse throat, but I've only just woke up. It is the 24th of October and it's 2:45 AM. So it's Monday morning. I didn't fish the weekend. It was rather busy down there, so I didn't think I'd bother coming down, so I thought I'd come down Sunday night, which I did, and slept in my new army sleeping bag, which was absolutely fantastic. Nice and warm. I don't think it goes down to -10 now, but it's certainly alright. But more about that later. So yeah, where am I? Where do you think I am? Where do you think? Well, yeah, I'm Bay 28. It's River Humber and it's Stallingborough. Immingham, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm in Bay 28. Well, I turned up last night, Sunday, and there was no one here. No one here at all, so I drove down to the low bays and drove back up there and thought, do you know what? This bay's clean, we'll fish here. Because as the year goes on, I'll probably not get to fish here, so I'm getting dazzled with the light. It is bright. I'm now going to get my gear ready. I've got my tripod out, as you can see. So we're going to get the rest of the gear ready and start fishing. Thing with it is the fact that that's a bit better. Like I said, I turned up yesterday and it's now this morning. I should be over the side of the wall really. It's all set up fishing, but I thought to myself, I need to sleep till 2. I need to get at least 4 hours sleep to make sure that I've had some sleep, because I'll be knackered when I get home. But I can have a doze on the sofa and set my alarm, can't I? Wife's looking after Dookie because he's not very well. He's only got conjunctivitis and he's a bit loose, if you know what I mean. So Mum's looking after him today. So I shall pop round later. I may not go over the side and fish. I may just get my gear set up up there, and by that time the water will be up. It's just one of them sessions. If it was daylight, I'd be over. If it was night time and tide was going down, I want to fish a bit more, I'd be over. But early hours of the morning, I'm the only one here. I think what I'll do is I'll get set up leisurely, get my bait sorted out, and bring you back for when I cast out. And I would say the water will be in by then. So I'll see you in a bit, and see you in the next clip that I film. There you go. Didn't know what to say then, but it's just the way it is. See you in a bit. That would have been a balls up, wouldn't it? Right, well the rods are built up. Water in the bucket, weighing the tripod down. I've got 2 cod rigs on there, which are single hook snood clip downs with 2 pen hooks on. Only 1 hose, 2 hose, and one of them's even got a crab hook on, so offset, so it really should hook in. I'm now going to cast out. The water's at the bottom of the wall. I think really for me to have got up and got ready and got down on over the wall, I'd had to get up at 1 and getting there at like 20 past 10. I wasn't prepared to do that. I wanted to have some reasonable sleep, so that's what I had. I was in the sleeping bag for 4 hours, so anyhow, that interesting people that just watch this channel for fish, because if you just do that, you're going to be disappointed. I do catch fish, but I like to have a natter. Right, well, I don't know what the tide run's going to be like. Might just leave that for 5 minutes before I cast the next one out. That one was a sliver of squid with a black lug in, and it's Trevor's black lug. Thank you very much, Trevor. I used them last fishing session, and yeah, done me proud. And can't remember what I caught in the last fishing session. I know it wasn't codlin. I think I've had 2 weeks without one. I don't know what it's about, but yeah, you can only catch what's in front of you, can't you? So I might just leave that rod for a minute and just see how the tide's running. There's a lot of weed about. I've seen a couple of reports over the weekend that there's lots of weed. Carl was fishing there down near the jetty and tucked in the corner, and there was a lot of weed then as well. Bless him, he packed up. What's all that about? Poor old Carl. If everyone can put in the comments, poor old Carl, there's too much weed about. Cheers. Right, I'll bring you back when I cast the next rod out. I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and just watch it. Right, that's both rods out. There is a bit of pull on it. It's Monday the 24th and it's a 6.9 metre tide. So it's not a huge tide, it's getting there. But yeah, it swung my bait round and the flies are undone. Ooh. Me getting dressed this morning out of my sleeping bag. It's alright, I've done them up now. The tiger's back in the cage. Anyhow, it's pulled it round, my line's over there. I'm going to leave it another 2 minutes and then I'll have to reel it in. So you need to watch these lines. Like I say, it's a 6.92 or 6.94, something like that. About 5:45. So got a bit longer fishing than I thought. Got 2¼ hours before high water, and then it'll, well, it don't get light at 6, does it? About 7ish it starts getting light. So I've moved my rod over there, so I've got a foot next to the wall, and from when I'm sat on the back of the van I can see the tops of my rods, so that's the main reason for that. So get another rig and a weight put on the bottom of it, bait it up with something, don't know what yet. And that's going to be a short cast out. I've had to park my van to the right as I look out of the river, so any off the ground casts that I can do, I can't do it. The wind's blowing this way, I don't want the wind blowing into my face with the van parked over there. So, and with this tide run, if I was to cast a long cast out there, it'll just, well, I guess it'll whip round even quicker. Probably not, but my van's there, so I can't do it. I'm a bit sore as well, so probably best I don't do an off the ground cast today. Just today is just about being there this morning. There's no one else on there. It's unbelievable, and it's just about having a relaxing time fishing. Hopefully catch a fish. Apparently there's whiting, buckets of whiting coming out, and quite a few cod coming out. We'll have to wait and see. I've never had much luck down there while everyone else has been catching cod. This is my second trip down onto the river, for those that think I'm there all the time. It's only my second trip. Will I catch a codlin? Who knows? Probably got more chance of catching a codlin on them beaches. So see you in a bit. got any weed. Don't feel like it. Well, I've got nothing on that. It was bobbing, touching, but it'll just be the tide. But there's no weed. There is weed everywhere. They've had weed all weekend. First reel in, not one bit of weed. Fingers crossed it's all gone away, eh? Right, I'll get this baited up. I'll probably get another one quickly out of the box because I ain't done it yet. Had a coffee and sorted a couple of bits out. And just sat here watching my rods, you know, doing what most fishermen do. Just sit there and watch your rods. So yeah, it's been great. I've been and had a week and I forgot to do my flies up again. What's it all about? My mind's going. But my knee, it's okay. My hip, it's okay. So things are looking up. Exercise is doing a trick. They are working. For how long for, I don't know. These things, once they start degenerating, they just get worse, don't they? But whilst I can still hop around, but that's a long story anyhow. Let me get this baited up. I've only got one rod in the water. I've got to stop doing this, haven't I? Because Tom will pause that where I'm got my hands up in the air. It don't look good. Right, so I'll go over here a short way. Right, well I've casted that out. I only casted it short, but I think it went further than I wanted it to. But it's dark out there, you don't want to drop it just over this side of the rocks, you want to be a bit far out to get it up. The trouble is now the lines are close, but the right hand rod should be there and the left hand rod should be there, so anything goes, it should go underneath. What a day. Look, you can see it is time, sit rep, it is 4:08, so it's 8 minutes past 4 in the morning. It's Monday morning, and yeah, I've got a thermal top on, my mustard top and a t-shirt and this, so I've got 4 layers on and a hat. But apart from my neck, which I'm going to put a neck snood on in a minute, that's the only thing that's getting chilly. The left hand rod is doing what the right hand rod was doing when it was the left hand rod. Don't get confused. It's going like this, but it's probably tied. That first cast reeling had no weed whatsoever. I've got that many lights on there, I can't see what's over there, over that way, I can see just, or over there. I'm just blind. All for the good of the video, but I'm blind, I can't see bloody nothing. Not saying I'm getting the willies, because I'll start getting the willies, but I can't believe there ain't any other fishermen down there. I thought there would be today. It's just nice to have it to myself. This will probably be the last time I get in Bay 28, unless it's one of them seasons when I keep turning up and it's free. I don't know, but I was very tempted to fish in 19. Every time I go in 19 I don't catch anything, or if I catch something it's flounder or whiting. I've had a small little codlin in 19 I believe, but not like they get in other bays. When I watch that left hand rod, it's either got a fish on it, or it's got weed on it, or the tide is pulling it. But it's holding bottom, it's not moving, so. Could be a big fat juicy cod, couldn't it? It's got a big squid on that one. The wind is slight, there's hardly any wind at all. Just a little tiny breeze every now and then. Some people would call it a gust. I just said breeze because it's the first word that came into my mind. I don't want to be here saying words that aren't correct, politically correct, that aren't correct, bollocks to that, that aren't correct for the wind tide or pictures. Do you know what I mean? It's just what I say. If that was a fish on there, because it's going like this, like that, I don't think it is a fish. If it's a fish, it should be going like this. It's just started to move because the lines were parallel, and that's why I started talking, because I was a bit concerned. And now it's gone like that. So what it's doing is it's now moving. So obviously the other weight too close to it, it thought, I don't like that, I'm going to move to the left. So that's nice of it, isn't it? Let's see what's on this. Something on there, it's either weed or probably weed, I think. Oh, I've got a fish. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look at that. We've only gone and done it. We've got a codlin! One little, ooh, one little booty, look at that. Fins up, mouth open, took the bait, one codlin. Let's get it in the bucket. I can't believe it. I saw the going up and down and I was saying about the tide. When I pulled it in, the line went over because the line was swayed out and it pulled it straight, so I was still holding bottom. So I'm going to quickly tie that rig on, chuck it out, give you another show, and then I'm going to jump over the steps and put it in carefully. One codlin. So we're absolutely pleased, chuffed to bits. Let's get this back. Returned. Absolutely brilliant. So first fish, was that first cast on that rod? Probably was. Got a codlin. So I can't believe it. So it's another autumn codlin, because it's not winter yet until the 21st or the 23rd of December, whichever one it is this year. But I don't mind catching more in each season, but I would like to catch, I've caught one summer, one autumn. It'd be nice to catch one in winter and spring. I expect you could look back at this year 2022, and Sal got one in spring, so probably I could say I've got a spring, summer and an autumn. So it doesn't get you long though, does it, in 2022 to get one in winter? That's like the 21st of December to the bloody 1st of January, isn't it? So we'll go with summer and autumn. That's the second one in autumn. That's another codlin. You know what's going to be on the title, don't you? It's definitely not going to be in search of, because I'm actually finding them and catching them. So I just need to put on codlin caught. We'll have to wait and see what the title is, but thanks for being there. And I'll tell you what, if I hadn't got up, come here last night and slept, and got up at stupid o'clock, and I was asleep on my sofa or in my waterbed, I wouldn't have been catching a codlin, would I? So you've got to be in it to win it. Bear that in mind. I'll just upset Shane now, because he's just got up. Why he gets up at 4:15 to go to work for 7, I don't know. Let's upset Shane. Well, I've got weed on this or something. Oh, I was open. Little bit of weed. Right, so that's the always chuck your seaweed over the wall, then it keeps the bay clear. Oh well. So I've still got the 2-hook flapper out. The rain has just stopped, so that's good. Well, disappointing because that was bouncing a bit, but it had some bladder rack on it, it was moving about. So I'm going to put a worm onto that squid because it hasn't been out long. It's only been out 5 minutes. It's a full squid. Since I put this neck warmer on, I've had to take my hat off. Yeah, I was hoping that was another fish, because wouldn't it be great to catch 2 codlin in one session? Because that is something that people do, but you know, I ain't done it very well. I ain't ever done 2 codlin in one session, so that'd be good, wouldn't it, tonight? We're starting off well. We've got a small codlin, perfectly formed, fins up, climbed over the wall, put it back in straight away. Swimming around the bucket as well, she was. Or was it she, her? I don't know. Let's just call it she. Well, I just did, didn't I? Let's not go into all that crap. It's forecast to rain at 6 o'clock. The time is 4:55. So it's started to spit now. It's stopped and it's just a few bits again now. But you know, you can't knock it. I've got some newspaper down there for my worms. I should put that in my fishing box, get some more worms out, get this bait freshened up. I'm going to put a couple of worm on it. Bloody lovely here. You can't beat fishing this river. You know, you really can't. Sometimes I do come here quite a lot, many sessions, but I couldn't give a fig, to be honest, because I go fishing where I want to go fishing, because that's what I want to do. You know, there's no point me keep going to different places and everything if I'm not interested in going there, because I'll just stop fishing and then I'll just stop doing YouTube. So I want to fish where I want to fish, and if I decide I'm fishing on Yorkshire coast, Lincolnshire coast, or I'm always on this river, that's the way it is. I'll never say that I aren't going to fish somewhere because of this, that and the other, and then always turn up there. So, you know, if I decide I'm going to fish this river and there's like 6 videos on the trot there, then that's because that's what I want to do. Like I've always said, this is my closest mark. It's 50 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, so for me to get here. And if you get here early enough, you can actually get a bay, you can choose your bay. If you aren't, you just have to fit in where you can. On the big tides, it don't really matter, because you can go right down to the lower end bays, or if you go up past the Yellow Cross or on the Yellow Cross and further, you can fish all the way along there. You can just fit in. You might have to park your vehicle and carry your gear to where you're going to fish, but it's no different to the beach, is it? Depends how urgent you are in wanting to catch codlin. But then this isn't necessarily the best place to catch codlin. You could catch more codlin on the beaches. So you just have to be there, don't you? Fishing with a line in the water to see if you can catch any fish or a codlin. But I do love coming here. It's absolutely beautiful. You've got all the lights of the Grimsby. You've got Tronics factory, which is all lit up. You've got the Immingham port, which is over there, which is all those lights which go out to the boats, and then the boats moor up. It's absolutely fantastic. And as it gets lighter, you'll then start seeing other bits. But East Halton, that's another good mark. But behind you there, it's all green fields. So again, you've got a different scenery. It's a different venue totally. This is industrial. East Halton's a bit more scenic. So, but yeah, if I want to come fishing here, and I'm chuffed I've come in Bay 28 because I've caught codlin. Last year I think I only fished 28 once because it's always busy. So that's why I've come in here, whether I caught or not, so that I could have my Bay 28, which I, you know, because I did fish 28 quite a lot. And we're here, we're done it, we caught a codlin. Let's see if we can get some more whiting, because everyone keeps saying they're pulling out 13 whiting or 14 whiting or 20, and I ain't had one yet. But I'd rather have another codlin. So let's get this baited up, freshened up, this rig, get it hung on the tripod, and then I'll come back to you, give you a little bit of a chin wag, reel the next one in. Hopefully we've got a codlin or a cod. What we got? We've got white. Yeah. Right. One waiting. Let's turn that down. One waiting. Let's get it back. Got a bit of fin rot on it. If you know what fin rot is, let's get it back. Water's right high now. That's gone straight back. Hit the water. Went under about 2 inch. Gone. Let's double check. Can't see it. So we've had a codlin and a whiting. I'll get this rig changed over. Cast it out again. We're going to cast upstream now because the tide has turned. I think. Put it this way. My lines have gone that way, so it must have turned. I'll check what time is in a minute. Well, I opened the grip wires on that weight because it got snagged up, you saw it. But I've tightened up on it, it's not tightened up, so the tide must be picking the weight up before it gets time to settle. I'll go back to it in a minute and tighten it back up. Right, we caught that whiting. We caught the whiting on a 2-foot flapper. So I'll get this baited up. I've just cut 2 bits of squid in half so that I can thread it on. No bait elastic either. How about that? It's because I've got a nice soft rod that takes the whip out of it instead of them stiffer Kenzakis. So yeah, no bait elastic, so don't put in any questions on Messenger about any bait elastic because it's just not needed, because I'm not interested. On the beach with the Kenzakis, if I remember, I'll use some bait elastic. If I don't, then I have to just put up with the fact and know that the bait come off the hook, won't I? But this session's going well. We're not getting into all that. This session's going well. It's now starting to spit. I don't mind fishing in the rain if I'm here and it starts to rain. I knew it was going to rain about 6. The time is now 5:37. And the waves, there's either a boat out there, which I can't see any lights from a boat, or tide's turned. Let me show you the waves. So it's been flat calm, you see, and then all of a sudden this happens, and I think that's because the tide turns, so it stops from coming in and it starts going out, obviously, but I cannot see a single boat out there. So I think that's the tide changing. So I think it said 5:45. I'll check. High tide is at 5:44, and the time is, hang on, I've got a phone in my hand, don't I? 5:39. So that's not bad, is it? And that tide is down there anyhow, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, you always hear that. Waves really pick up, and it's either a boat, but not waves to that extent. Normally it's a boat. But I can't see any boats. So that was the tide going out. I hope you saw that and picked it up on the camera. So I'm going to bait this 2-hook flapper up. We've had a whiting and a codlin in bay 28. It's a great day. Let's hope we can catch another codlin. Let's just keep fingers crossed for that, because to get 2 in one session would be great. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn this off, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, well, I haven't seen any action on the rod tips. You know, if you can call it action. I'd say it's a rod tip that's bouncing up and down, to be honest, but I haven't seen any bites at all on these rods. The left hand rod I've just chucked out, it's holding bottom. So I'm now going to reel in the right hand rod, see if there's anything on it in case I've missed a bite. Might have a whiting on it, could have anything on it, or it might just be some weed. And then what I'll do is I shall put the 2-hook flapper on, cast it out. So let's go check it now. Don't think there's anything on it. Oh, it might be. Just keep catching fish, I don't care what they are. Cod would be nice. That weed made me think I had something on there. trout for this one. Well, the boat's now going out. It was definitely the tide that did that, all that row. That's twice I forgot to put the lights on. I've still got the light on up top, the light on the camera, but... Right, I casted that out. It went more right than where I wanted it to go, but it's fine. Holding bottom. If it moves, I'll just have to reel it in. It's a 2-foot flapper. I've got black lug and squid baited up there, and what I'll do is I'll get it put on this cod rig and get it hung on the tripod, ready for the next cast. At least someone stood there, I can't tell because all the bloody lights. It forecasted rain from 6 till 7. It started about 25 to 6, so Met Office, not too bad, are they? They're pretty accurate, aren't they? You do get it wrong sometimes, but normally you can normally swear by it, unless they get it wrong. So I'll bring you back when I have the next carp reeling. But yeah, it's a great session. I've only had 2 fish, but that don't matter. It's just being there. It's listening to these chimneys and vents going off, the water going down the river, bashing up the sides, seeing the boats, and the weather. It's been good. So I shall see you when I come back. It's now starting to rain a bit heavier. I might. The wife, I've thought about it before when I've been fishing, about putting 2 skirts on this door, so it stops the rain coming in at the side. Me and the wife have, well, the wife has said it as well when we're camping, but I might actually do it, to be honest, even if I just make one up. I'll drill a couple of holes in the door, put a couple of hooks on it on a piece of wood, and screw the tarpaulin to it, and then just weigh it down at the bottom with something and some magnets. Just make it better, because even though you've got a door like this, your legs still get wet, so the rain blows in at the sides and your legs get wet. But yeah, those rods aren't moving, are they? They are static. It's an absolutely beautiful night, morning really. What is the time now? Sit rep on time is 6:05, so it is going to rain now for another hour. Hopefully it might stop in 20 minutes. Don't want to have to put my salopets on. Got good baits out there. On the 2-foot flapper, when I was threading it through the hook, the squid's mantle, it burst through a couple of the bits that I threaded it through, so it was loose. So I put some bait elastic on that one to make sure it didn't fly off. The other one was fine. I didn't burst through that mantle at all with the hook. So we've got one with a bit of bait elastic on and one without. Might get a whiting on that 2-foot flapper. Could get a codlin. Let's hope for another codlin. I am fishing pennel hooks, so I mean they'll still catch whiting, but I am aiming for bigger baits to catch codlin. That codlin I caught swallowed the hook right down, but I got the hook out, it did no damage whatsoever. The hook was only just sort of like touching the inside of it really, so it was hooked on the pennel and the other hook was inside him, caught up. But I unhooked that, it went back, swam off, same as the whiting. So let's hope for another codlin. We're in Bay 28 on the River Humber. If you've got this far in the video, I'm saying it probably far too late yet again, but if you've got this far in the video, please consider subscribing. If you don't want to subscribe because you don't like it, then thank you very much for the view. It all helps the algorithm, all helps the channel. I appreciate all of it. Thank you to all my subscribers that I've got, all the comments that I get from my subscribers. You know you always comment. You get a lot of new people comment as well. I hope you're all right, Jimmy. I guess you're on holiday again. I look forward to finding out where Jimmy's been next. So yeah, it'll either be a football match or it'll be been on holiday. So I'm looking forward to that, Jimmy. Are you all right, Andrew? Mr. Andrew Jones, the Welsh wizard of fishing. We'll see you soon, mate, when you put some petrol in that car. Don't forget to subscribe to Alan's Castaways. And he's also on Facebook under Bend 'em, Send 'em, Go Get 'em. Give him some support and love. He's a nice chap, he'll do anything for you until you shit on him. But then don't we all? We're all like that. Well, I am anyhow. Right, well, I'll watch these rods for a bit, and I think I'll change this battery on this camera. I've got 10 or 15%, I can't see, but I know it's low. So I'll bring you back when I reel in the next rod. Rigs, I'm using cod rigs, which are single snood clip down rigs with a pennel hook system on. 1/0s and 2/0s, I believe the hooks are. And I've got a, ooh, we got a bite. And the 2-hook flapper's got bait holder hooks on. That might have been a bite. That could have just been the weight moving, couldn't it? We've got 2 hooks, I believe, bait holder hooks. An elastic if I want to use it. See you in a bit. Nice motorbike, don't know if you can hear it. Right, one whiting, lively little whiting. Just check that's on. Yep. One whiting, let's get it back. She should go back okay. Beautiful eyes, look at the blue in the eyes. One whiting. Went straight back as well, absolutely straight back, fantastic. So if you can get them off quick and they're lively, or if you put them in the bucket and they're lively, they always tend to go back. It's the ones that are like this, you know, the sort that you get working for you in your factories. They're like this, not a lot in them, so they don't tend to go back. But brilliant, that's 2 whiting and a codlin. It'd be great to have 2 codlin or even 3 codlin, because I've never done that. That would be good to do that. It'd be something different. But I'm chuffed a bit. It's not a fluke. First fishing was a little codlin. Yeah, it was undersized, probably about 32 centimetres, something like that. But beautiful fish, fins all up, absolute cracker. And a codlin's a codlin. So yeah, 2 whiting, that was the bigger one. I saw the bite. We caught it on the squid on the bottom hook that isn't bait elastic on, so quid's in there. I shall get this baited up again. We'll get it chucked out right now. As a matter of fact, let's do it now. It's raining a bit. I don't want to get my trousers wet too much. Don't like getting wet, you get cold then. too old to get cold. But I don't want to put my salopettes on because there's no pockets or anything on them, so once you got them on, right, let's get this truck out. Great, isn't it? So yeah, 2 whiting and a codlin. So yeah, we're in Bay 28 on the River Humber. If you've just tuned in and fast forwarded to this point, don't forget to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, thank you for the view. That's for all those that have just gone on it and clicked fast forwarded up to this point. Try and catch them out. Right, let's get under this rain cover, right? Oh, I don't mind coming fishing and then getting caught out in the rain. I don't mind it, but I'd much prefer it if it stopped raining, because it's now getting worse. I might have to put my salopettes on actually. Let's hope I can get them up in my boots. See you in a bit. Right, I'm gonna reel this end rod in. Been out a bit, it's tapping about, but I don't know what's on it, so let's see what's on it. I've had to put my salopettes on. Well, that bait's been mauled, I'll tell you that. Someone's had a go at it. Don't look like it's been picked off by crabs. but obviously nothing's bit it and bit the hooks, so could just be crabs, couldn't it? But it's been a good session up to now. If we catch another fish, it'll be appreciated. On that rig there, still got the squid on the top hook, and I've put a prawn on the bottom, elasticated on. I've got a prawn, king prawn there with squid. The prawns are that fresh, they're blue. I always buy them from Morrison's, and I only ever pick the blue ones up because you know they've been frozen at the right time, never defrosted and refrozen. So I just saw that move as I turned round, so what I'm going to do is yeah, still raining. I'll get this baited up with the prawn and squid, and I'm gonna sit and watch them rods, and if there's anything on it, it's a 2-hook flapper anyhow, so there's 2 hooks, 2 fish, that'd be good, wouldn't it? See you in a bit. That end rod was under tension but then lifted up, and normally down here when I've had that action on the rod where the rod's come up, not gone totally slack, it's been a flounder, so who knows. Oh, someone's had a go at that. Didn't hook it though. It's getting lighter, the sun hasn't come up yet, but at least I can see around me now, which is good. Get the willies some up. Right, I'm going to put this rig away now because the water's going. I've probably got time for another cast. Yeah, you can see, look, that squid's been mangled, so someone's had a go at that. Probably the squid was too big for the hooks. I would say it's got held because it was big. But there you go. You make these mistakes, and you continue to make these mistakes. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I think you'd learn though, wouldn't you? But I cut the mantle in half and put it on. What I was actually going for was a big fish, so obviously a small fish came along and bit that, so probably another whiting. I've had 2 whiting. I'm quite pleased that I haven't caught 11 whiting. I know it would make for a good video, but I'd rather have 2 or 3 codlin, or 2 cod, or just the 1 codlin. Oh, and I've had a codlin, haven't I? So yeah, codlin in bait 28, and also 2 whiting. So I'm happy as chips, really. And we're always happy when we've got chips, aren't we? So, salt and vinegar. So yeah, I'm going to put this rig away. The bottom one's a bit tangled up, but that could have been me. So what we've got out there now is squid and prawn. So I might make another one up, ready for when I pull the other one in, and both rods will come in at that critical point where I don't want to go off the side because it's wet, it's raining, I've got a bad it, and if I go like that, like I did last time, because last time I was there I went to return a fish, stood on the green weed, and I went like that, and boy did it hurt my hip. So I'll get this put away and I'll bring you back when I reel the next one in. We'll probably have another bait up, fish them 2 rods out then. Can't remember which was the last rod, so this one's coming in. That a long way. I've either got a fish on there or I've definitely got weed. I might have a fish as well. Now, I don't know what the shiny thing was. It must have been my weight. Right, get this quickly baited up and get it out. what I did. Well, I think that's going to be I think that's going to be probably the last 2 casts, because I can now see the bladder rack up in the water. So yeah, not got long. Left hand rod is the last rod out. I'm saying that now so I remember. So I'll probably start packing bits away. Keep an eye on these rods, and if a rod moves, I'll bring the camera back. I'll bring the camera back for when I reel it in and finish the video off. This will be a shortish video today, which makes the change. Tom will be pleased to edit that. And yeah, might have to give it a couple of yanks through this weed, but I've still got water at the front, so I ain't got to panic. If I was in bait 27, 26, 27's all right, 26 might be iffy. I ain't got long. I've got 10 minutes at most, and I'll have to bring a rod in. I'll tell you what I will be doing, and all this seaweed that people have pulled off a line and chucked on, it just makes the bays look messy. So I am going to pick this weed up. Got a great big pile there that was there when I come. Well, I kicked it all there, put it that way. And we've got a 5 litre water bottle down there. I'll probably show you it later. I think people fill it up with water and then hang it on the tripod, but it's empty. So I will be taking that up and putting it in the bin. There's a plastic bag there also with a load of rocks in. And if you've got nothing to weigh your tripod down, a plastic bag with some rocks in is a good idea. Am I going to leave it there? I don't know, because it looks messy, doesn't it? Want the place looking messy. I'm not going on about the bays being filthy and whatever, and look at me, I'm Sandra D, you know, but it's just a case of just tidying up a bit, isn't it? Other people have just left the weed there. There's nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that at all, but when you drive past you see lumps of weed, it just looks like mess, doesn't it? People don't realise that seaweed, it'll rot down, but it don't rot down that quick because it's constantly getting wet. This is the time of year when it's going to start raining a lot, like it bloody is now. It's meant to stop by now, you know. We've got 2 rods out there. The best time I find is when the tide's coming up, and I should have gone over the side and started fishing over there, because you can pull in a good fish. You've seen me do it before many years ago, like 2 years ago, but you know, I want them to sleep, so I feel better for it, because I'll be able to drive home, pack my gear all the way, probably have a doze on the sofa if I want, and you'll see the wife, Duke. He's a poorly boy. That's this god saturated now. Worst of the weeds picked up. There's still bits of weed everywhere. You can't do everything. Let's hope we got a fish on that and I've missed the bite and they've hooked themselves. That's what I say. Nearly, oh, that glove's that tight on that finger, it nearly pulled my bloody joint apart. Right, so here we have it. This is the River Humber. I can give you a show round now for those that are brand new to the channel. There's my rod tips. And yeah, you've got the Immingham port, I believe it is, over there. We've got boats out there, a little tugboat, fishing boat, big boat, no boats. And this is the water. So we've got some plovers, I think they are there. I'll chuck some food over for them, some fish heads or something. But yeah, so this is where we're at the minute. We've still got water at the front of my bay. The water's going on the concrete ramps in between the bays, and you can see the bladder rack up in the water. There's bladder rack all the way along here, and obviously it comes up in the water, so the lower that water gets, the more dense the bladder rack becomes, and obviously you get snagged up, but you know, you can pull it off. It should be okay. What else is there to say? Yeah, I ain't got long to fish because I don't want to go over that. I used to climb over all this, and I still would if I had to, but you can see a metre up from the water, it's all green and brown. That's treacherous. This black stuff ain't too bad, but I wouldn't advise anyone going over there. Probably best just to cut your line off and leave your gear there, to be honest, and let some other whippersnapper go over. But you know, there's not a lot you can do. If you get snagged, you either pull it, or you got to go over, or you just leave it. So choice is yours. I wouldn't personally go over though. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Yeah, don't go over, you're bloody stupid. But yeah, I'm not going over. Normally I'd go over because I've got my step up and steps, and I'd be fishing on here because I mean it's daylight today. I could fish this for probably another couple of hours. But the thing with that is it's raining, isn't it? It is raining. So because it's raining, it's not pleasant, and to film a video while it's raining, you know, it is hard. You're up and down. I'd have to take my fishing rod over, tripod over first, then a fishing rod, my bait box, all my gear that I need just down there for baiting up, another glove that's dry because that one's saturated, and then my camera gear, you know. And by the time you've done all that, it's raining. If it weren't raining, I would possibly go over just to extend the video and give myself a chance of another codling, because there may be a codling. You can catch him as the tide go down, but what I always say is do not fish the river. It's up to you what you do, but don't fish the river if the tide's going out and you've got mud between you, because you can't return a fish. And if you catch a codling that's undersized, you know, how are you going to get it back? You could pull it up on the beach and it comes off the hook because you're pulling it up the mud. Fish is all filthy, mud's going all around its gills. Ain't no good for it, is it? You can't chuck it back because it's water's gone out too far. So there does come a point when you need to stop fishing, or you're not bothered and you just pull in. If you catch, you pull it in. If you can't return it, you take it home. But then choice is yours, isn't it? The risk is yours because you could get caught. So I always, my decision, and what I always think is, once you've got a gap between you and the water, and I would say it's more than a metre, then that's time to pack up. If you ain't caught anything by then, you ain't going to catch anything, are you? Mind you, saying that, I always pull in a fish, or quite often pull in a fish on the last cast, don't I? So what we've got out there at the minute after all that squid is squid and prawn, and squid, prawn and black lug in a wrap. So both on Penelux, both on a cod rig. See if we catch on it. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, let's get this right hand rod reeled in with the squid and prawn on. Bait's still on it. I had a lot of weight on that, and then my hand slipped off the handle and it went slack, and then it went light. So I don't know whether I had weed on it or something like that, but something was on it. It's been great, really, to be honest. It's been a great night. I'm going to get this cut off and chuck this bait over the side for the plovers and the seagulls that are about, give them something to pick on. And I'll watch this tide, bring the last rod in. See you in a bit. Yeah. Bait is still good, look. Black lug, squid, and there's a prawn in there as well. Can you see this? I was skimming along the top of the water, which is why I have fixed bills, and got caught in that bladder rack at the front, and had to give it a good tug to get it out. But when I initially started reeling this in, I could feel a lot of weight on it. And it must just be the weight dragging through the mud. And then as you actually get it up, it then went light. So I knew I didn't have a fish on that. But you see that bait glistening with the weight in the water, and you from a distance you think, bloody hell, I've got a fish, but you never have. But yeah, see if I'm in there. So yeah, it's been very enjoyable. I slept in the van in my new Arctic, British Army Arctic sleeping bag on my mat. It's been really nice. I've had the radio on, coffee, stew in my flask, lights. It's like a hotel room when you're fishing here. Just need to leave it clean so it's respectable. There is bits of weed about, but nothing like when I turned up, so it's better than it was. I will take the plastic bottle. But yeah, this has been fishing on the River Humber in Bay 28, and I've been the only person here. There was a car that came past a minute ago, but I don't know whether he's come out of work or whether he's been fishing down the woods, but I never saw anyone go past me unless he went past me when I was asleep. So there could have been someone fishing down there. Let's say he might have left off from work. You do get people ride down there on motorbikes from work, dressed up in work clothes, but that's by the by, isn't it? But it's just been nice. Down that way, I haven't seen anybody. And when I thought there was someone in the bay next to me, it was the next bay, looking like it was a car in the bay, because it's up. But yeah, what a load of rabble on that was. That's what you get with Norfolk, lads. A lot of rabble on. But yeah, this has been fishing in Bay 28 on the River Humber. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, click the subscribe. If you don't, and you don't want to, thanks for the view. We've caught a codlin. That's the third one this year, and second one in autumn. Chuffed to bits with that. Would have liked to caught a second one, because I'm always catching one. But there, other people do, my turn will come. So I've had the codlin, 2 white and 1 bigger than the other. So all fish went back. There's no fish dead on the water's edge. It's great, they all swam off. The codlin, I jumped over the side and put it in because the water weren't too high up. The white and the water was up, and a chuck, in it goes, away it goes. So yeah, this has been fishing at the River Humber, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I have, and I hope you enjoy the video. It's the best I can do. You know, I aren't a Richard Attenborough or whatever his name is, and big boat, look, big boat. You know, it's just the way it is. I've chucked all my bait over that I ain't keeping for the birds to eat. Give them something to eat. I've chucked some over there for the mice and rats. That's the sort of chap I am. Feed everything. But yeah, River Humber. Quite peaceful. And I'm on my own. I've been on my own all night. Aren't I a brave little soul? I would say so. So yeah, thank you for watching this at Bay 28, and I'll see you in the next one. Could be on the river, could be in Yarmouth, possibly on the beach, but wherever it is, you will see me fishing, but I will see you at on. One little, one,